Yeah, peoples. Yeah. Welcome back to the episode of Late Night Snacks. I am your host, Career, holding it down for my co-host. You already know it's Phoenix. What we do all day, unpacking the raw, uncut, unedited footage. You already know what I'm saying? In today's episode, man, we're going to take it back a little bit. We're going to take a little back, you know what I'm saying, peoples? Hit that like button, hit that sub button. We're going to take a little back. Hey, back then, if we had what we got now, we'd been doing a lot. Man, it's good right now. Thank goodness for this internet. But look, we're going to check it out. We're going to see what happened. The great debauchery, the great escrow, whatever you want to call the beef between Foxy Brown and Lil Kim. I didn't know they had beef. I did not know they had beef. That's crazy. Man, I can't believe them two women had beef. Back then, excuse my French. Back then, though, it was no hot rappers, especially women rappers like that. I mean to say, you know what I'm saying, fair to say. There was no hot ones like that, you know what I'm saying? I'm gonna keep it a buck, you know what I mean? You know what I mean? It wasn't like that. But when they came around, Lil Kim, she was bussing. Foxy Brown was bussing. She was bussing. And I don't understand what happened. You know what I'm saying? I wonder what happened. You know what I'm saying? Because one was from Bad Boy, that was Lil Kim. One was from Def Jam, Foxy Brown. But anyway, let's get into this little scrimmage they had going on. Let's see, because you know they had to squabble up at some point. Let's see what's going on. Let's get it. Before we get into it though, hit that like button. Man, because man, we about to unpack.
In 2000, Kim ends up dropping the album, Notorious K.I.M. Another big album. And on that album, and that song, Notorious K.I.M., Kim ends up dissing Foxy Brown. You guys run into a situation at Hot 97 in 2001. Capone was leaving as you guys were coming in. An argument breaks out, and a shooting happens.
No, we were leaving. They pulled up. They had a few cats with them. Some words was exchanged. Then some shots was exchanged. Pretty much.
There was an incident with AK-47s was pulled out between the two factions of Kim and Foxy. She had some guys from the hood that was managing her and, you know, all of those things.
It escalated into something really, people almost got that day. It was bad.
In recent
Wow.
times, everyone thinks the fiercest rivalries in hip-hop history were all about male rappers battling for the crown, right? Like the long, deadly feud between Tupac and Biggie. Well, Lil Kim and Foxy Brown seem to have broken that a long time ago.
Outside New York City radio station Hot 97 last week, police say it was Lil Kim's posse versus friends of Foxy Brown. 5 guns in all, 21 shots fired, and 1 man shot in the back.
The legendary clash between these two heavyweights in the rap game still lingers in everyone's memory. In fact, their beef might just take the crown for the bloodiest and most intense feud in hip-hop history. Let's unwrap a bit. Once upon
What? Did y'all hear that? They beef is one of the worst in history. Hit that button. Late Night Snacks. LNSTV. It's unpacking. Man, let's get it.
time in Brooklyn, Lil Kim and Foxy Brown were on similar paths, both chasing dreams and repping their borough. Kim was signed to Biggie Smalls' Bad Boy Records, while Foxy made waves at Def Jam. What's wild is that they weren't just peers. They actually started out as friends, with Foxy Brown always revering Lil Kim at any given chance.
I did not know that. I did not know they was friends. I didn't know they was friends. For real. I did not know that. I'm glad that we unpacking this right here, because yeah, let's go.
Always revering Lil Kim at any given chance.
Is that my understanding?
Good, real good friends. I take that as a compliment. Kim does funny things. She's Queen Bee, and I give it up to.
So what flipped the switch? Well, the exact spark that set their feud ablaze is still a mystery, but what we do know is that things escalated fast. Heated confrontations, diss tracks, and even a bloody shootout, which is recorded to be the bloodiest ever. But how did it even start?
Inga came by, and Troy wouldn't let her downstairs. And he was like, why can't I go downstairs? And they're like, yo, they down there like meeting Biggs down there. They down there like seeing what's going on with Junior Mafia. And she's like,
Let's take it back a bit.
What?
Lil Kim's journey to the top is a story straight out of a movie. She was just getting off work when Biggie Smalls rolled up on her after hearing she could spit bars. But instead of hyping her up, he plays it cool, teasing that she was too pretty to be a rapper and throwing in a playful jab that she probably couldn't even rap. Classic Biggie move. Of course, Kim took the bait, dropped some rhymes right there, and boom, it was game on. Biggie was hooked and started bringing her around, eventually making her a part of Junior Mafia. Biggie did...
Look, you see the genius in Biggie? Man, a round of applause for Biggie. Let's go.
Just mentor her, he shaped her whole vibe. From music tips to her image, he had a hand in it all, even encouraging her to soften her voice to balance out her raw, rough style back then. Kim's early shine came through guest spots on Biggie's debut album, Ready to Die, which dropped in September.
Well, we can say some of that right there is a little bit of truth. We all saw the Notorious Big movie, and what he said, it kind of went down in the movie, in the biopic. Let's get it.
September 1994. She popped up on the intro, the infamous F Me interlude, and Friend of Mine. But it was Junior MAFIA's debut album, Conspiracy, in 1995 that really put her on the map.
What?
Tracks like Player's Anthem and Get Money became massive hits, and Kim's standout verses made people take notice. Suddenly, she was the one to watch, and the first from Junior Mafia lined up to drop a solo album. Now, while Kim was making waves, Foxy Brown was busy carving her own lane. She grew up in Brooklyn too, connecting with heavy hitters like DJ Clark Kent and Tone from the Trackmasters. On the underground lyricist circuit, she went by the name Queen Nefertiti and was part of a group called Rotten Candy. At first, she signed with Capitol Records under the name Big Shorty, later switching to AKA, but things didn't pan out, and she was dropped. Foxy even tried to link up with Bad Boy, but Diddy wasn't biting at the time. Little did he know, she was about to find her own way to the top. After her encounter with Diddy came the birth of her iconic name, Foxy Brown.
Wow.
She took that name straight from Pam Grier's legendary character in the movie Foxy Brown.
Facts.
But get this, she didn't just snag it on a whim. Pam Grier herself gave her the green light with one condition. Foxy had to elevate the name and make it iconic in her own right, and she did just that. Her big breakthrough came when she got a spot on L Cool J's classic I Shot Ya remix.
Yep. Facts. I remember that song.
Funny thing, that
remember
track
that.
was originally supposed to be for Biggie, but somehow it landed with LL. At first, people were hesitant
What?
to put a rookie like Foxy on such a high-profile record.
Hey, look, y'all sleeping on LL. Y'all better stop sleeping on LL. That boy, he was running it. He was running it. LL, man, he been a monster. Let's go.
But when she hit the booth, she shut down any doubts. Her verse, fire. She held her own with seasoned rappers and made people sit up and pay attention. That moment kicked off a bidding war between labels, with Def Jam ultimately winning out. With her new deal locked in, Foxy was set to release her debut album, but we'll get to that in a bit. Now let's talk about the parallels between Lil Kim and Foxy. Sure, their styles were different, but their journeys surprisingly similar. Kim's come-up was tied to her connection with Biggie, while Foxy had her own powerhouse network, including DJ Clark Kent and Tone from the Trackmasters, not to mention a key boost from Jay-Z. Both of them broke into the rap game young and completely flipped the script for female rap.
So y'all hear that, right? So Foxy Brown was on Def Jam, that mean Jay-Z. Lil Kim, Bad Boy. Y'all see the little connection right there? You know what I mean? Let's get these two at it. Let's go.
at the time. Oh, and there's a fun fact. Lil' Kim and Foxy even briefly attended the same high school. Early on, everything between them seemed cool. Kim even addressed the comparisons in an interview with The Source that came out the same month as their debut albums. People were already trying to pit them against each other, asking if Foxy was copying Kim's style. But Kim wasn't having it. She called Foxy her girl and said she loved...
Yeah, because I never knew they had beef with one another. You know what I'm saying? This is all new to me. Hit that like button. Hit that sub button. Late night snacks unpacking. You know what I mean?
Being another woman repping a similar vibe. She talked about how female rappers needed to stick together and prove they could go toe-to-toe with the guys. In fact, maybe even outshine them.
Anyway, y'all, listen, coming up, we got my girl, a joint for my girl, that's like Brown, baby, that's like Fox Brown, new joint coming out.
So for a moment, it seemed like they were all about unity. But as we know, that didn't last.
Wow.
Foxy Brown once said that Lil' Kim paved the way for her, crediting Kim as the first to bring that sexy hardcore vibe to female rap.
Hey,
The two
she
even
was.
linked up on the No One Else remix by Total, which was a big deal at the time.
She was. Y'all seen the biopic, how she was just coming at Big, and Big was like, calm down and soften up a little bit. Yeah, Kim been that one for a while. Ever
Became the
since.
real game changer, their debut albums. Lil' Kim dropped Hardcore on November 12th, and it debuted at 11 on the Billboard 200,
Smash.
selling 78,000 copies in its first week.
How you count your jewels, thinking I'ma cheat you.
Smash.
Just a week later, on November 19th, Foxy released Il Na Na, which landed at #7 on the
Smash.
Billboard 200
Another
with
smash.
109,000 first-week sales, while Kim held the record for the highest debut week for a female rapper for 1 week. Foxy swooped in and broke it. But here's the kicker.
What?
While Il Na Na had stronger opening numbers, Hardcore ended up having more longevity in terms of impact and sales. Back then, Lil' Kim was everywhere.
Yeah, because y'all heard that, right? Nana, she took off. But the fan favorite was Lil' Kim. I wonder why. Let's get back into
The
it.
buzz for Hardcore was insane. Posters, hit singles, the works. Foxy, though, was K-ing it too. She was stacking features like on Ain't No End Ja with Jay-Z, the You're Making Me High remix with Tony Braxton, and Catch Me Tease Me. Her singles from Il Na Na
Fire.
were also crushing it. Get Me Home hit 42 on the Billboard Hot 100, ID reached 7, and Big Bad Mama climbed to 53.
I remember that
In
track.
fact, Foxy even shouted Kim.
When you first heard about Creative
I remember that track. Hey, that was crazy right there. That, dang. The machine took Foxy down. Wow. Let's get back into it. This is my allegations. You already know. Hit that like button. I'm all about the shenanigans. Let's go.
Promise, saying she'd been waiting for Kim's album because she knew it would be fire. Wildly enough, just a week after showing her respect, Kim dropped her own album. With both debuting so close together, comparisons between Kim and Foxy were inevitable, and the media didn't miss a chance to fan the flames. By
At all.
February 1997, things seemed cool. The two appeared together on the cover of The Source, side by side, looking like they were on top of the world. They didn't do the interview together, but they clearly shot the cover together and seemed friendly enough. But not long after, it all fell apart, and suddenly, they weren't just being compared, they were rivals. Even DJ Clark Kent hinted at knowing how the drama started, but to this day, no one seems to fully understand what went wrong. In DJ Clark Kent's version, he claimed that Daddy O, one of the masterminds behind Junior and had considered bringing Foxy into the group at one point. But according to Clark, it wasn't about Kim being chosen over Foxy. It was more about whether Junior Mafia was even ready to have two female rappers. This all happened way before their debut album.
See, back then, they wasn't taking women MCs. They wasn't taking them real heavy. It was like sliding them. They wasn't respecting them. You know what I mean? Man, just imagine Foxy Brown and Little Kim and Junior Mafia. Man. Yeah, they was tripping, man. They hard. Let's go.
albums. And even after that, him and Foxy seemed to be cool for a while. Clark Kent even still went on to suggest that the whole thing could have been over something ridiculously petty, like a misunderstood comment in an article that just spiraled out of control because no one stepped in to clear the air. Now, when it comes to style, a lot of people have accused Foxy of copying Kim, whether it's with her music, her fashion, or that sexy hardcore image.
Never
There
heard
are
of
even
it.
side-by-side comparisons of their outfits floating around. The theory from Kim Osorio, the former editor-in-chief of The Source, and a well-known hip-hop journalist, seems to buttress this. She mentioned hearing mixed
never
stories,
heard of it.
but one that stood out was about their album packaging. If you look at their debut album covers, they're both rocking similar outfits. And apparently there's a rumor that one borrowed the outfit from the other. Supposedly that sparked some drama, and led to them not speaking. Sounds trivial, right? But that's the thing with beefs. Sometimes they start over the smallest things. To be fair though, Foxy herself said Kim was the blueprint for that style, and paved the way for her. Still,
Yeah.
maybe after a while, Kim felt like it was getting to be too much. Like Foxy wasn't just inspired by her, but straight up stepping on her toes. Whatever the real reason, it's clear that small things piled up until they couldn't ignore the tension anymore. Back in 2011, Foxy Brown's brother spilled some tea in an interview with Vibe. He claimed that liar Cohen had offered both Lil Kim and Foxy $500,000
Pillow
each to
talking.
show up at the
That
Hit
brother
Factory
pillow
studio
talking.
and finally record their legendary Thelma and Louise project. But guess what? Neither of them showed up. DJ Clark...
Wait a minute. Foxy Brown and Little Kim was about to do a collab project called Thelma and Louise? Oh, man. If we would have got that project, it'd have been fire, bro. I'm trying to tell y'all. At that time, they were sluggers. But that would have came out, man, let's go.
Kent later shared that years down the line, someone even dangled $1 million in front of him to make the album happen. He tried reaching out, not to Kim nor Foxy directly, but to their teams, but it just never materialized. Fast forward to 2021, and out of nowhere, Fat Joe was doing an Instagram Live with former Bad Boy producer Rashad Ringo Smith. During the show, Ringo played a snippet of a previously unheard track called Enjoy Yourself. Word is that track was meant to be part of the scrapped Thelma and Louise album. Can you imagine what could have been if that project had actually dropped? Now, some people believe the tension between Kim and Foxy wouldn't have gotten so intense if Biggie hadn't passed away in March 1997.
Biggie, one thing about Biggie, he knew how to keep everybody together.
There's also talk that Foxy aligning herself with Nas and the
Give him a
Firm,
clap.
drifting away from Jay-Z, might have added to the friction, but Clark Kent isn't buying it. He's adamant that the beef between Kim and Foxy wasn't just about music, it was personal. Foxy was the first to openly address the feud in her song My Life from her China Doll album, which...
Wow. We giving you all the snacks. We unpacking. You know what I mean? I really didn't know what this was all about. It's really crazy. They was looking so innocent. I did not know that was going on. Maybe that's how the Voltron was created. Let's get back into it.
Dropped in January 1999. In the track, she reflects on how she and someone she once considered a sister used to dream together about their rise to fame. She even references Thelma and Louise, a nod to the collaboration album that never happened. But by the end of the song, she's acknowledging how they went their separate ways and don't even speak anymore.
My sister, we used to dream together how we could make it real big, do our thing together.
Later that same year, Lil Kim fired back on Lil Cease's track Play Around from his debut album. The song included a line from Diddy telling people to stop copying her style, which many took as a direct shot at Foxy. By 19...
The influence
was
there.
constantly comparing Kim and Foxy, fueling the narrative that their rivalry was bigger than just rap. And the music they dropped that year only added more fire to the drama. In 2000, Lil Kim dropped her The Notorious K.Y.M. album, but not without its fair share of drama. Before the official release, the album leaked in the summer of 1999, with several songs floating around on file-sharing platforms and bootleg CDs. When the album finally came out, Kim wasted no time taking shots, especially on the self-titled track. In the first verse, she came out swinging. throwing shade about how some girls act differently but secretly want to be her. She even called out
Yeah, I remember that album. You know what I mean? Reason why I remember this album because my sister had this album. You know what I mean? And Lil Kim was a hot little MC at that time. You know what I mean? I used to get a lot of my music and stuff. You know what I mean? Around the way. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, as a youngin, I remember all this. Let's go.
someone for running around with a gun, spitting fake raps, and having panic attacks. The panic attack line seemed like a direct dig at Foxy Brown, who had a reputation for what some saw as erratic behavior. As for the fake raps comment, it's no secret that Foxy had ghostwriters, but to be fair, so did Kim. So that was a bit of a glass house moment. Foxy responded in her own way on her track 730 from her Broken Silence album. She clapped back, saying she writes her own stuff. But even if Jay-Z wrote for her, so what? She claims she blew him up just as much as he helped her. A clear reference to their collab on Ain't No, Jay's breakout hit.
What?
Foxy also made it clear she wasn't afraid of anyone, saying she could have taken Kim out but chose not to because it wouldn't have been a fair fight. She even addressed rumors about her crashing her Range Rover, brushing it off like, yeah, I'm crazy, so...
What? She was crazy. Hey, Foxy Brown ain't no punk. You see what she was saying? I ain't scared of nobody. Let's get back into it.
Range Rover, brushing it off like, yeah, I'm crazy, so what? But Kim wasn't holding back either. On the notorious KIM, she went on to say that Foxy wasn't a real star, and hinted her label knew it. She questioned how Foxy managed to make money and blow up. Even
see, all these albums they mentioned and stuff, it's gonna make me want to go back and just do some more research and see what they were saying about one another. They was really at it. Let's get back into it.
saying she'd bet on Lil Cease over Foxy and the firm. Kim then hit below the belt, claiming that if it were back in the day, she would have handled Foxy herself. But now she's too busy making money, so she's leaving it to the girls in the hood.
This chick running around with a stink gap and fake. You ain't a star.
She also took another jab at Foxy's ghostwriting, telling her to stop paying guys to write her verses. The shots didn't go unanswered. Foxy fired back on Bang Bang, a track from Capone and Noriaga's The Reunion album in 2000. By this point, the back and forth was heating up, and the disses were getting more direct with every song. The feud had officially gone from subtle jabs to full-on war. The verse we got from Foxy Brown on Bang Bang was apparently the toned-down version, according to Nor. He said Foxy's original verse was way more...
They said Nor. It's Nori. Y'all know who Nori is, right? Nori is the guy from the Drink, you know what I'm saying? Drink Champs, you know what I'm saying? He was under Revolt. Y'all already know what that is. Put it together. Diddy. You know what I'm saying? Diddy owned Revolt at the time. So, it was a group Nori was in, Capone and Noriega. So evidently, this is probably what happened. This is probably what caused the rift between his group, Nori and his group, Capone. Because Capone was hanging out with Foxy, and Foxy got into it with Kim. You know what I mean? So Kim crew and Foxy's crew, which was Capone, was with Foxy's crew. You know what I'm saying? But that kind of explains a lot what you know what I mean?
According to Nor, he said Foxy's original verse was way more disrespectful, but what exactly she said remains a mystery. Even the lines that made it into the final version caused enough drama, though. Many believe Foxy's references to Biggie in the song were a major trigger for the infamous Hot 97 incident. Foxy's verse opens with, "Hot damn, here we go again," a nod to MC Light's legendary track 10% Diss from her 1988 album Light as a Rock. Interestingly, Lil Kim also used the same line in her iconic verse on the Quiet Storm remix in 1999 as a way of paying homage to MC Light. However, some fans have speculated that Kim's Quiet Storm verse might have been aimed at Foxy, or even Charlie Baltimore, based on lines like, "Coming in the game on some modeling shit, HS sucked it, just to get to the top."
Charlie Baltimore was dating Big too. Yeah, the big black ugly brother. That's what he called himself. Cross-eyed Big. He was getting them.
Back to Bang Bang, Foxy directly called out Kim, accusing her of sneak dissing and asking why she and Diddy kept throwing subliminal shots, a clear reference to Kim's lines on the notorious KIM. Foxy went even further, telling Kim to let Biggie rest in peace, get off his name, and focus on her own career. She also dismissed Kim's decision to delay the notorious KYM album, saying she didn't care and implying that Kim was overhyping herself. This was likely written before Kim's album dropped, but it still referenced Kim's infamous line on the notorious Big from Biggie's posthumous album Born Again, where Kim said, "Be glad I pushed my album back. I did y'all a favor." Things escalated to a dangerous level in February 2001.
Late night
Kim and her
snacks,
entourage
TV.
bumped into Capone from
Giving you
Capone
guys some
and
snacks.
Noriega, who was a close friend of Foxy's, outside the Hot 97 offices in New York. An argument broke out between the two groups, and things quickly spiraled out of control.
Capone was leaving as you guys were coming in. An argument breaks out, and a shooting happens.
No, we were leaving.
Over 20 shots were fired from 5 different guns, and one of Capone's associates ended up getting shot in the back.
Outside New York City radio station Hot 97 last week, police say it was Lil Kim's posse versus friends of Foxy Brown. 5 guns in all, 21 shots fired, and 1 man shot in the back.
This violent incident marked a dark turning point in what had started as a war of words. About a week after the Hot 97 incident, Foxy Brown offered a truce, saying she didn't even know how the feud started, but wanted to end it.
I just don't think somebody should get for people realize that a change has to happen. We just want to stop it. We just want to say, look, let's put an end to it.
She told Russell Simmons she was willing to have a sit-down with Lil Kim and even suggested doing a collaboration, but Kim's camp didn't respond, nor later explained that the beef between the two was inevitable, with or without.
Now, you know who Kim's camp was? Diddy. Bad boy. You know, they was all high powered. High powered. They ain't worried about nothing. They ain't trying to hear nothing. They don't want to hear nothing. You know what I mean? B.I.G. gone. He got shine. Man, we still popping. You know what I mean? We running this. You know what I mean? Bad boy can't be stopped. You know what I mean? And that's the type of attitude she was having. You know what I mean? So I'm pretty sure. You know what I mean? But dang, they got into it at the radio station. That explains a lot why Capone and Noriega, you know what I mean, really, you know what I'm saying? The Capone got locked up and Noriega was doing his little thing, still messing with the enemies. Oh, okay, and that's what happened. Oh, maybe that's my speculations. That's just what I'm thinking, you know what I'm saying? It's just all allegations, people. It's all entertainment. All entertainment, that's all it is. You know what I mean? So what we doing? We're going to finish unpacking it. Let's go. Let's get it. Because, man, this stuff is right here, boy. It's pretty good.
Was inevitable, with or without Bang Bang, and that he and Capone were just backing Foxy as her friends. Fast forward to 2004, Lil Kim faced legal trouble tied to the Hot 97 shooting, initially claiming
I remember that. She was doing the whole thing on MTV or BET when she was turning herself in jail. That's what that was about? Wow, people. We just put the puzzle together. That's what happened with Little Kim. She was squabbling up with Foxy Brown. Wow. Let's get it.
wasn't there. Evidence proved otherwise, and she was charged with perjury and obstruction of justice for lying to a grand jury. In 2005, Kim was sentenced to a year and a day in prison and fined $50,000. She was released in 2006, having already cemented her legacy with 4 albums, 3 of which went platinum. Meanwhile, Foxy's career stalled after her 2001 Broken Silence album, which went gold. In 2005, she faced a severe hearing loss that significantly impacted her music output, though both women made huge...
Oh, y'all hear that? I didn't know that. Foxy lost her hearing loss. Oh, wow. Let's go.
Waves in hip-hop. Their careers took very different turns, and the feud that once dominated headlines faded into history.
Wow, I did not know that, yo. That's some pretty good stuff right there, man. Y'all go and check that out over there, you know what I'm saying? It's popping, you know what I mean? But, man, hit that like button. It's all raw and uncut it and edit, footage, It's just like that. I did not know that was going on. Until the next time, people, I'm glad you guys popped up, you know what I mean? And hung out with your boy, listening to these old school stories. 'Cause, man, I did not know none of this was going on back in the days. Because, truthfully, the women MCs, they was all right, but I didn't really listen to no women MCs like that until Eve, Rough Rider. Rough Rider Eve came around. Man, she was on the scene. She was doing movies, and she was everywhere. She was hard. She had some nice bars. But until then, y'all, I'm like to say thank y'all. Hit that like button and tune in to the next episode. Tune in because we really got it. More coming.